Have you ever wondered why some people seem to pull away when relationships get serious, while others become clingy and need constant reassurance? Or maybe you found yourself in a relationship where you and your partner seem to speak completely different emotional languages, leaving both of you frustrated and confused. Well, the answer might lie in something psychologists call attachment styles. And understanding these invisible forces that shape how we connect with others could be the key to transforming your relationships forever. I'm talking about a psychological framework that explains why we behave the way we do in relationships, why we have certain patterns that keep repeating, and most importantly, how we can work with these patterns instead of against them to create the love we actually want. Today, we're diving deep into the world of attachment styles and dating. We'll explore the 4 main attachment styles, how they show up in romantic relationships, and most crucially, how to navigate dating someone whose attachment style is different from yours. By the end of this video, you'll have a roadmap for building stronger, more understanding relationships, no matter what combination of attachment styles you're dealing with. But first, let me tell you about Sarah and Mike. Sarah had always been the type of person who needed to know where she stood in a relationship. She'd send good morning texts, plan future dates weeks in advance, and felt most comfortable when she and her partner were in constant contact. Mike, on the other hand, valued his independence. He enjoyed spontaneous plans, needed space to recharge, and sometimes went days without texting because he was focused on work or personal projects. When Sarah and Mike started dating, they were incredibly attracted to each other. But as the relationship progressed, their different styles began to create friction. Sarah interpreted Mike's need for space as rejection, while Mike felt suffocated by Sarah's desire for constant connection. They found themselves stuck in a cycle where Sarah would pursue more closeness, which would make Mike withdraw further, which would make Sarah pursue even more. Sound familiar? This is a classic example of how different attachment styles can create relationship challenges. But here's the beautiful thing about understanding attachment theory. Once Sarah and Mike learned about their different styles, they were able to break this cycle and create a relationship that honored both of their needs. So what exactly are attachment styles? Attachment theory was originally developed by psychologist John Bowlby, who studied how early childhood experiences with caregivers shape our expectations and behaviors in relationships throughout our lives. The basic idea is that we all develop internal working models of relationships based on whether our early caregivers were consistently responsive, available, and attuned to our needs. These early experiences create templates that influence how we approach intimacy, handle conflict, deal with separation, and regulate our emotions in relationships. The fascinating thing is that these patterns often operate outside of our conscious awareness, which is why we might find ourselves repeating the same relationship dynamics over and over again, even when we consciously want something different. Researchers have identified 4 main attachment styles that describe how people typically approach relationships. Let's break down each one and see how they show up in dating scenarios. First up is secure attachment. People with secure attachment make up about 50 to 60% of the population, and they're generally the most comfortable with intimacy and independence. They had caregivers who were consistently responsive and attuned, so they developed a positive view of both themselves and others. In dating, securely attached people are typically comfortable expressing their needs and emotions. They can handle conflict constructively, they don't take their partner's bad moods personally, and they're able to maintain their own identity while also being emotionally available to their partner. They tend to communicate directly, trust their partners, and have realistic expectations about relationships. If you're securely attached, you probably don't have too much trouble dating people with other attachment styles because you naturally create a safe emotional environment that can help partners feel more secure over time. However, you might sometimes feel frustrated by partners who seem to create unnecessary drama or who struggle with basic relationship skills that come naturally to you. Next, we have anxious attachment, also called anxious preoccupied. This represents about 15 to 20% of the population. People with anxious attachment had caregivers who were inconsistently responsive, sometimes available and loving, other times distracted, overwhelmed, or emotionally unavailable. This inconsistency created a hypervigilance around relationships. Anxiously attached, people learned that they needed to work hard to get and keep their caregiver's attention, so they developed strategies like being extra accommodating, expressing distress loudly, or becoming highly attuned to other people's moods and needs. In dating, this shows up as a tendency to seek a lot of reassurance, to worry about their partner's feelings and commitment level, and to sometimes sacrifice their own needs to keep their partner happy. They might check in frequently, analyze text messages for hidden meanings, or feel anxious when they don't hear from their partner for a while. Anxiously attached people are often incredibly loving, empathetic, and committed partners. They're usually very motivated to work on relationship issues and are willing to have difficult conversations. However, their need for reassurance can sometimes feel overwhelming to partners, especially those with more avoidant tendencies. The third style is avoidant attachment, which includes both dismissive-avoidant and fearful-avoidant types. Dismissive-avoidant people, making up about 20 to 25% of the population, had caregivers who were emotionally unavailable, rejecting, or who discouraged emotional expression. These individuals learned to be self-reliant and to suppress their attachment needs. They developed positive views of themselves, but negative or dismissive views of others as unreliable or needy. In dating, dismissive-avoidant people often struggle with emotional intimacy. They might feel uncomfortable with their partner's emotions, have difficulty expressing their own feelings, or feel suffocated by too much togetherness. They often value their independence highly and may resist relationship milestones like moving in together or making future plans. However, avoidant people often bring wonderful qualities to relationships. They're typically independent, capable, and not prone to emotional volatility. They can be incredibly loyal once they commit, and they often help their partners develop better boundaries and self-reliance. The fourth style is fearful-avoidant, also called disorganized attachment, representing about 5 to 10% of the population. This often develops from childhood experiences with caregivers who are both a source of comfort and fear, perhaps due to trauma, addiction, or mental health issues. People with fearful-avoidant attachment have both positive and negative views of themselves and others, leading to an internal conflict between wanting closeness and fearing it. They simultaneously crave intimacy and push it away. In dating, this might show up as hot and cold behavior, difficulty trusting partners even when they want to, or feeling overwhelmed by their own conflicting emotions. They might pursue someone intensely and then suddenly withdraw, or they might interpret neutral behaviors as signs of rejection or abandonment. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Your attachment style isn't necessarily fixed forever. While our early experiences create strong tendencies, we can develop what's called earned security through positive relationship experiences, therapy, or conscious personal work. This means that understanding your attachment style isn't about putting yourself in a box. It's about gaining awareness of your patterns so you can make more conscious choices about how you show up in relationships. So, how do different attachment styles interact when they're dating each other? Let's explore the most common combinations and the unique challenges and opportunities each presents. When two securely attached people date each other, They typically have the smoothest relationship dynamic. They communicate openly, handle conflict well, and support each other's growth and independence. However, even secure relationships require effort and intentionality to maintain their connection over time. If you're both secure, focus on continuing to prioritize your relationship, maintaining good communication habits, and not taking your natural compatibility for granted. Keep dating each other, express appreciation regularly, and make sure you're both continuing to grow as individuals. When someone with secure attachment dates someone with anxious attachment, the secure partner's consistency and emotional availability can be incredibly healing for the anxious partner. The secure partner provides the reliability that the anxious partner's system is constantly scanning for. However, the secure partner might sometimes feel overwhelmed by their anxious partner's need for reassurance, while the anxious partner might worry that their secure partner doesn't need them as much as they need their partner. If you're the secure partner, remember that your consistency is a gift. Small gestures of reassurance that might seem unnecessary to you can mean the world to your anxious partner. This might include regular check-ins, verbal affirmations of your feelings, or following through reliably on plans and promises. If you're the anxious partner with someone secure, try to notice and appreciate their consistency instead of focusing on what feels missing. Practice self-soothing techniques when anxiety arises, and work on developing your own sense of security, rather than relying entirely on your partner for emotional regulation. The secure-avoidant combination can also work beautifully. The secure partner's emotional availability can help the avoidant partner slowly open up, while the avoidant partner's independence can help the secure partner appreciate space and autonomy. The main challenge here is that the secure partner might sometimes feel shut out or frustrated by their avoidant partner's emotional walls, while the avoidant partner might feel pressured to be more emotionally expressive than feels natural. If you're the secure partner, patience is key. Avoid taking your avoidant partner's need for space personally, and look for the ways they show love that might be different from verbal expression, perhaps through acts of service, loyalty, or physical presence. If you're the avoidant partner, recognize that your secure partner's desire for emotional connection isn't neediness. It's a normal relationship need. Challenge yourself to share small vulnerabilities regularly, and appreciate that your partner's consistency creates a safe space for you to slowly open up. When secure attachment meets fearful-avoidant, the relationship can be incredibly healing for the fearful-avoidant partner, but it requires extra patience and understanding. The secure partner's consistency can help the fearful-avoidant partner develop trust over time. The key here is for the secure partner to remain steady and non-reactive to the fearful-avoidant partner's sometimes confusing signals, while the fearful-avoidant partner works on communicating their internal conflicts instead of acting them out. Now let's talk about anxious-avoidant relationships, which are incredibly common and often create the most dramatic relationship dynamics. This is the classic pursuer-distancer pattern we saw with Sarah and Mike. The anxiously attached person's desire for closeness triggers the avoidant person's fear of engulfment, causing them to withdraw. This withdrawal triggers the anxious person's fear of abandonment, causing them to pursue more intensely. This creates a negative cycle that can feel impossible to break. However, these relationships also have incredible potential for growth. The anxious partner can learn independence and self-soothing from the avoidant partner, while the avoidant partner can learn emotional expression and intimacy from the anxious partner. If you're the anxious partner, the key is learning to self-soothe instead of seeking reassurance when triggered. This might mean taking a walk, calling a friend, journaling, or using breathing techniques when you feel the urge to pursue your withdrawing partner. If you're the avoidant partner, Recognize that some emotional expression and reassurance are normal relationship needs, not signs of neediness. Challenge yourself to move toward your partner when your instinct is to withdraw, and practice expressing appreciation and affection regularly. Both partners need to learn to communicate about their attachment needs directly instead of acting them out. The anxious partner can say something like, "I'm feeling disconnected and would love some reassurance," instead of pursuing or criticizing. The avoidant partner can say, "I need some space to process, but I care about you and want to reconnect later," instead of just withdrawing silently. When two anxiously attached people date, they often experience intense emotional connection and validation. They understand each other's need for reassurance and emotional expression. However, they might struggle with emotional regulation as a couple, potentially amplifying each other's anxieties. If you're both anxious, focus on developing individual self-soothing skills and creating stability in your relationship through consistent routines and clear communication. Make sure you're both maintaining individual identities and support systems outside the relationship. Two avoidant people might appear to have an easy relationship because neither partner pressures the other for emotional intimacy. They often share similar values around independence and self-reliance. However, they might struggle to develop deep emotional connection and might avoid addressing relationship issues that require vulnerability. If you're both avoidant, challenge yourselves to gradually increase emotional expression and intimacy. This might mean scheduling regular relationship check-ins, sharing one vulnerable thing with each other weekly, or seeking couples counseling to learn intimacy skills in a safe environment. The anxious-fearful-avoidant combination can be particularly challenging because both partners struggle with emotional regulation, though in different ways. The anxious partner's pursuit might trigger the fearful-avoidant partner's fear of intimacy, while the fearful-avoidant partner's inconsistency might trigger the anxious partner's fear of abandonment. This pairing often requires professional support to develop healthy communication and emotional regulation skills. Both partners benefit from individual therapy to work on their attachment wounds while also doing couples work together. Now let's talk practical strategies for dating someone with a different attachment style than yours. The first and most important step is developing attachment awareness. Start by honestly assessing your own attachment style. Think about your patterns in past relationships, your emotional reactions to separation and reunion, and your comfort level with intimacy and independence. You can take attachment style assessments online, though keep in mind that these are just starting points for self-reflection, not definitive diagnoses. Pay attention to your automatic thoughts and reactions in your current relationship, and notice when you might be operating from old patterns rather than responding to present reality. Next, try to understand your partner's attachment style with compassion and curiosity, rather than judgment. Remember that attachment styles developed as adaptive strategies for childhood relationships. Your partner's attachment behaviors made sense in their early environment, even if they create challenges in your adult relationship. If your partner seems to need a lot of reassurance, recognize that this comes from early experiences of inconsistent care, not from any deficiency in your relationship. If your partner seems to withdraw from intimacy, understand that this likely stems from early experiences where emotional expression wasn't safe or welcome. Communication is absolutely crucial when dating across attachment styles. Each style has different communication patterns and needs, and learning to speak each other's language is essential. Anxiously attached people often communicate through emotion and need verbal reassurance and validation. They appreciate frequent check-ins, clear expressions of feelings, and direct communication about the relationship's status and future. Avoidant people often communicate through actions rather than words and need space to process emotions before sharing them. They appreciate respect for their independence, non-pressured emotional expression, and problem-solving approaches to relationship issues. Fearful-avoidant people need extra patience and consistency in communication because their internal conflicts can make their communication seem contradictory. They benefit from gentle, non-demanding invitations to share their feelings and reassurance that it's safe to be vulnerable. One of the most important skills for dating across attachment styles is learning to co-regulate emotions together. This means helping each other return to a calm, connected state when one or both of you becomes triggered or emotionally dysregulated. For anxiously attached people, co-regulation might involve their partner offering physical comfort, verbal reassurance, or simply staying present and calm while the anxiety passes. The key is not trying to logic away the anxiety, but rather providing the emotional safety that allows the anxious system to settle. For avoidant people, co-regulation might involve giving them space to process while also maintaining connection through small gestures, like a text message saying, "Take the time you need, I'll be here when you're ready." The goal is respecting their need for space while not disappearing entirely. For fearful-avoidant people, co-regulation requires extra patience because their needs might seem contradictory. They might need reassurance and space simultaneously, or they might push you away while also desperately wanting comfort. The key is staying steady and consistent while not taking their mixed signals personally. Creating secure relationship habits together is one of the most powerful things you can do when dating across attachment styles. These are consistent practices that help both partners feel safe, seen, and valued, regardless of their individual attachment patterns. Daily connection rituals are incredibly powerful. This might be a morning coffee together, an evening walk, or a bedtime check-in where you share appreciations and any concerns. The key is consistency and presence, putting away phones and really focusing on each other. Regular relationship maintenance conversations can prevent small issues from becoming big problems. Schedule weekly or monthly check-ins where you discuss what's working well in your relationship, any concerns or needs, and any adjustments you want to make. Approach these conversations with curiosity and teamwork rather than criticism. Expressing appreciation and affection in ways that land for your partner's attachment style is crucial. Anxious partners often need verbal affirmations and reassurance about your feelings and the relationship's future. Avoidant partners might prefer appreciation expressed through actions, respect for their autonomy, or acknowledgement of their contributions to the relationship. Creating predictability and reliability in your relationship helps all attachment styles feel more secure. This might mean following through consistently on plans, communicating proactively about schedule changes, or establishing routines that you both can count on. It's also important to maintain your individual identities and support systems. Secure relationships require two whole people choosing to be together, not two halves trying to complete each other. Continue pursuing your individual interests, maintaining friendships, and growing as a person outside the relationship. Now let's address some specific challenges that often come up when dating across attachment styles and how to handle them. The protest-withdraw cycle is probably the most common challenge in anxious-avoidant relationships. When the avoidant partner withdraws, the anxious partner protests through pursuing, criticizing, or becoming emotional. This pursuit makes the avoidant partner withdraw further, creating a negative spiral. Breaking this cycle requires both partners to recognize their roles and choose different responses. The anxious partner needs to learn to self-soothe instead of protesting when their partner withdraws. This might mean going for a walk, calling a friend, journaling, or using breathing techniques. The avoidant partner needs to practice moving toward connection instead of always moving away. This might mean sharing their need for space while also expressing care, offering a timeline for reconnection, or giving small gestures of affection even when they feel overwhelmed. Mixed signals are common when dating someone with fearful-avoidant attachment. They might be incredibly loving and close one day and distant or critical the next. They might say they want commitment while also sabotaging relationship progress. The key to handling mixed signals is staying focused on consistent actions rather than getting caught up in the emotional turbulence. Maintain your own emotional stability. Communicate clearly about your needs and boundaries, and look for patterns rather than reacting to daily fluctuations. Different needs for space and togetherness often create tension across attachment styles. Anxious partners might interpret their partner's need for space as rejection, while avoidant partners might interpret their partner's desire for togetherness as suffocation. The solution is negotiating these needs explicitly rather than hoping your partner will magically understand your preferences. Discuss your individual needs for alone time, couple time, and social time. Create agreements about how much advance notice you need for social plans, how often you'll check in when apart, and how you'll balance independence with connection. Emotional expression differences can also create misunderstandings. Anxious partners might share every feeling as it arises, while avoidant partners might process internally before sharing anything. Neither approach is wrong, but partners need to understand and respect each other's styles. If you're with someone who processes internally, give them space to think before expecting them to share their feelings about important topics. If you're with someone who shares feelings frequently, remember that they're not necessarily asking you to fix anything. They might just need to be heard and validated. Managing triggers is crucial for all attachment styles, but especially important when dating across styles. Triggers are emotional reactions that seem disproportionate to the current situation because they're connected to old attachment wounds. When you notice yourself getting triggered, the first step is pausing instead of reacting immediately. Take some deep breaths. Remind yourself that you're safe in the present moment and try to identify what specifically triggered you. Was it something your partner said or did, or was it your interpretation of their behavior? Communicate about your triggers with your partner when you're calm rather than when you're activated. Help them understand what situations or behaviors tend to trigger your attachment system, and ask for their support in handling these moments with compassion. It's equally important to learn about your partner's triggers and how to avoid unnecessarily activating their attachment system. This doesn't mean walking on eggshells, but rather being mindful about how your words and actions might land for someone with their particular attachment history. Building security in your relationship is an ongoing process that happens through thousands of small interactions over time. Every time you follow through on a commitment, respond with empathy during a difficult moment, or choose connection over being right during a conflict, you're making deposits in your relationship's security bank account. Consistency is more important than perfection. You don't need to be the perfect partner, but you do need to be a consistent one. Show up reliably. Communicate honestly about your limitations and mistakes, and make repairs quickly when you hurt each other. Patience is essential because changing attachment patterns takes time. Your partner's attachment behaviors developed over years or decades. They won't change overnight just because you're a loving partner. Celebrate small progress and remember that healing happens gradually. Creating new experiences together can also help build security. Engage in activities that require cooperation and trust. Travel together to new places, or take on challenges that you can overcome as a team. These shared positive experiences create new neural pathways that support secure bonding. Now let's talk about when to seek additional support. While many attachment style differences can be worked through with patience, understanding, and good communication, some situations benefit from professional help. Consider couples counseling if you find yourselves stuck in negative cycles that you can't break on your own, if there's a significant mental health component affecting your relationship, or if past trauma is significantly impacting your ability to connect. Individual therapy can also be incredibly valuable for working through attachment wounds, developing better emotional regulation skills, and building self-awareness about your relationship patterns. Look for therapists who understand attachment theory and have experience working with couples from different attachment backgrounds. Emotionally focused therapy, developed by Sue Johnson, is particularly effective for helping couples understand and heal their attachment dynamics. Remember that seeking support is a sign of strength and commitment to your relationship, not a sign of failure. Many couples benefit from having a neutral third party help them understand their dynamics and develop better tools for connection. It's also worth mentioning that attachment styles can shift over time and in different relationships. You might be securely attached in some relationships and anxiously attached in others, depending on how safe and understood you feel with that particular partner. This means that working on your relationship and developing security together can actually help both partners become more securely attached over time. Secure relationships are healing relationships that can help repair early attachment wounds. As we wrap up, let's talk about the beautiful potential that exists when people with different attachment styles learn to understand and work with each other's needs. These relationships often have incredible depth and growth potential because partners learn skills and perspectives they might not develop otherwise. An anxious person partnered with someone avoidant learns independence, self-soothing, and the value of space in relationships. An avoidant person partnered with someone anxious learns emotional expression, the joy of interdependence, and how to receive and give care. Someone with secure attachment can provide healing consistency for partners with insecure attachment, while partners with different styles can help secure people understand and appreciate different approaches to relationships. The key is approaching your differences with curiosity rather than judgment, seeing them as opportunities for growth rather than fundamental incompatibilities. When both partners are committed to understanding each other and growing together, attachment style differences become strengths rather than obstacles. Remember that love is not just a feeling, it's a skill that can be learned and developed. Understanding attachment styles gives you the roadmap for building the kind of love that feels safe, secure, and sustainable for both partners. Your attachment style is not your destiny. While it influences your relationship patterns, it doesn't determine your relationship outcome. With awareness, compassion, and commitment to growth, people with any combination of attachment styles can create beautiful, secure relationships together. The most important thing is choosing a partner who is willing to learn and grow with you, regardless of their attachment style. Look for someone who responds to feedback with curiosity rather than defensiveness, who is committed to treating you with kindness even during difficult moments, and who shares your values about what makes a relationship worthwhile. Building a secure relationship is one of the most valuable investments you can make in your life. It affects not just your romantic happiness, but your overall mental health, your ability to handle life's challenges, and even your physical well-being. So whether you're anxious, avoidant, fearful-avoidant, or secure, remember that you have the power to create the kind of relationship you want. It starts with understanding yourself and your patterns, extends to understanding and accepting your partner's patterns, and grows through countless small choices to choose love, understanding, and growth over fear and old patterns. If this video has resonated with you, I'd love to hear about your experiences with attachment styles in dating. Have you noticed these patterns in your own relationships? What strategies have worked for you when dating someone with a different attachment style? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Your insights might help someone else who's navigating similar challenges. And if you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe for more content about building healthy, secure relationships. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos about psychology, personal growth, and creating the love life you actually want. Remember, understanding attachment styles is just the beginning. The real magic happens when you take this knowledge and apply it with compassion, patience, and commitment to growing together with your partner. Here's to building the secure, loving relationships we all deserve.